Eyewitness News Update is next tonight.
I'm Alex Zirkin, live outside Busch Stadium. I'll tell you what some of the nation's best baseball writers are saying about this World Series.
Reporters ask the president, will you raise taxes?
Also tonight, finally a verdict in the longest jury trial in U.S. history. And in Cover Story, the best place to get your hair done and the best place to work out. Kathy Leonard shows us.
It's all next, only on Eyewitness News Update.
Channel 5, KSDK, St. Louis. And now, Channel 5 Eyewitness News Update.
Taxing is not the policy or the problem with the deficit. The deficit is due to too much spending.
The president hedges about whether he'll raise taxes. Good evening. I'm Hugh Perkins, sitting in for Karen Foss.
And I'm Dick Ford. We want to tell you the Cardinals are on the verge of making it 3-2 in the World Series in their favor. Right now, they are leading Minnesota 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning at Busch Stadium. We'll bring you all the highlights and interviews as soon as that game is over.
But first, President Reagan laid down a challenge to Congress tonight to work out a quick solution with him to the nation's budget deficit. The president held his first news conference in 7 months and announced that he'll meet with congressional leaders to reduce the deficit.
I'm putting everything on the table with the exception of Social Security, with no other preconditions. And I call on the leaders of Congress to do the same.
And Mr. Reagan seemed to soften his earlier stand that Congress would have to raise taxes over his dead body.
But what I've said was, all right, I'll listen to them and what they have in mind as an answer to this problem. But I expect them to listen to what I have in mind.
But repeatedly, the president refused to go into any detail about his plans for the congressional meeting. He is still optimistic about the economy, and he's naming a task force to study stock market procedures.
This is, I think, purely a stock market thing, and that there are no indicators out there of recession or hard times at all.
Mr. Reagan praised the actions of the New York Stock Exchange in limiting business hours for the next 3 days to allow brokerage firms time to catch up on the huge volume of business. The market fell more than 77 points today on a volume of more than 300.
This is CBS.
President Reagan is ready to talk about a tax increase, but is he ready to increase taxes?
We'll have that story, and tonight the Cards get some help from the opposition.
We'll explain coming up on News 4 Nightside.
Channel 4, KM0V TV, St. Louis. Now, Julius Hunter, Larry Connors, meteorologist Mike Nelson, the News 4 sports team, and Herb Humphries on the move. This is News 4 St. Louis Nightside.
Good evening. The Cardinals are trying to go to Minnesota with a big advantage.
A win tonight would, of course, give the Cards that 3-2 lead in the best-of-7 series they need. Here's Gary Apple now with the story of tonight's action.
Fellas, we're in great shape right now. 8th inning, Cards leading the Twins. The score is 4-2. The big inning for the Cardinals, the 6th inning, Vince Coleman getting on, then a double steal, and then a 2-run single by Kurt Ford off Bert Blyleven put the Birds up 2-0. They got another run on an error by Greg Gagne at shortstop. Right now, in the 8th inning, the Cardinals are leading it. You see the score 4-2. If they hang on, as Jules alluded to, they take a 3-2 lead in the series, and then John Tudor.
Cardinals' great comeback over the past 3 games hasn't surprised some of the nation's best sports writers. I'll have that report coming up.
And whether you're interested in aerobics or weightlifting, Kathy Leonard will show you the best of St. Louis a bit later in Cover Story.
We found Cardinal fans who had stars on their head. Believe it or not, we even found a Cardinal Santa Claus out here in this crowd. For some fans, it seems with each Cardinal win, the ideas just seem to keep rolling. You've heard of Fred Bird. Well, here's Fred Bird Jr. This little guy walks around outside of Busch Stadium because he doesn't have a ticket, and he likes to talk to fans.
Well, they've been saying, you're okay, man.
Who dreamed this idea up?
Me.
And who executed it?
My mother.
If you like hats, you can find Hats That Clap, Herzog's White Rat, and Ties That Blink in the Night, and Cardinal art being painted on faces.
Oh, we were just sitting at home. We didn't have tickets to the game, so we thought we'd come down and have a little fun.
And then there are some creative designs that need no explanation. They speak for themselves.
The stadium is going to be the scene of some wild celebrating if the Cardinals can hang on in the 9th inning and take another victory to take a 3-2 lead back to Minnesota. The Cardinals' play has impressed some of the nation's best sports writers, and I talked with some of them before tonight's game to get their thoughts on the series.
Thought this might just add a little extra class to a newscast where we're going to win this game today.
Good for you. All right. In other news, President Reagan hopes what he said tonight will have a positive impact on Wall Street. He began tonight's news conference by expressing his concern about this week's disaster and roller coaster ride.
We shouldn't assume...
Economy, one, he will appoint a special task force to examine stock market procedures. And more importantly, the president said he will meet with the bipartisan leadership and work to reduce the deficit. The president said he will put everything on the table for that meeting except Social Security. The big, pressing, continuously asked question, does that include tax increases?
I will say this with regard to taxes, our sources of revenue. They must not be something that has an adverse effect on the economy.
It's still not clear to me that you will accept and agree to a budget compromise package that contains higher taxes, will you?
Sam, as I've told you, I can't discuss in advance what I will or won't do, but I'm going to tell you I have not.
Continue to seek bottom. And since the president is holding his tax increase cards close to his chest, the market will remain uncertain about the tax future.
Well, speaking about the market, federal investigators are now looking into why the stock market has turned into an out-of-control seesaw. After yesterday's record upturn, a missile attack today. An Iranian silkworm missile slammed into Kuwait's main oil terminal today.
The search for a new home is over tonight for an 8-month-old boy who may be carrying the AIDS virus. Until today, the little boy had spent his entire life at St. Louis Children's Hospital. He was born to a mother who carries the AIDS virus. Doctors say the boy may carry the virus too, but for now he appears to be very healthy. The state cannot reveal the identity of the boy's new parents, but they say that he's with a family which is willing to accept the great responsibility of raising a child who might someday develop the disease of AIDS.
Yeah, great responsibility it is. Well, we decided to give Bob Richards the day off to cheer for the Cards. John Fuller is in here, also cheering for the Cards.
Right, it's working, you know. It's working. We didn't know we had that kind of power. A few more clouds rolling in for tomorrow and some rain for Saturday, but the detailed forecast is coming up a little bit later. But we're going to sneak ahead and take a weekend preview of the whole nation. If you're traveling around the country, here's how the weather conditions should be shaping up. Scattered showers over the mid-Mississippi Valley and the lower Mississippi Valley. Over the northern plains, it'll be fair but cold. Some snow over Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, and Marquette. Sunny.
The weekend forecast is coming up.
And coming up on News 4, the nation's longest-running trial is over.
And the jury talks about that marathon case. That story next.
Southeastern part of the mid-Mississippi Valley. Even some snow over Polk County in northern Wisconsin. 4 inches of snow there. By midday, the clouds were streaming through Iowa and northern Illinois. In our vicinity, partly cloudy conditions, mostly cloudy now, and it looks as though we will have partly cloudy skies for the remainder of tonight, all because of a cold frontal system that has really slowed down with scattered snow showers up over the Great Lakes. We'll have partly cloudy conditions for tonight. By Friday morning, the front pushes a little bit to the southeast, so it'll be a little bit cooler tomorrow and a few more clouds than today, but still some sunshine in the forecast. By Friday afternoon, a dome of high pressure brings us partly sunny skies. It'll be cool with 30s and 40s over the Great Lakes and the northern plains and the upper Mississippi Valley, as well as the northeast. For us, by Friday night, that cold frontal system stalls. And notice this batch of moisture that's starting to stream into the center part of the nation. So by Saturday, we'll have increasing cloudiness and the chance of some showers, but it does look like things will clear back out for Sunday. For tonight, though, skies becoming partly cloudy. They're mostly cloudy now, but they'll thin out a little bit. The overnight low temperature, a seasonal 46 degrees with winds out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. For tomorrow, a few more clouds than today. Partly cloudy conditions expected. Not quite as warm with the high of 64 degrees. Noontime up to 58. So certainly a fall-like day. Wind south at 5 miles per hour. The extended outlook tomorrow night, look for an increase in cloudiness as that stationary frontal system starts to work its way to the north as a warm front, the low down to 49, so a mild evening. The extended outlook does have the best chance of rain on Saturday. Mostly cloudy with scattered showers, the high temperature up to 62, the low down to 43, but then improvement by Sunday and Monday back into fall-like conditions for the last daylight savings time weekend. 65 for the high on Sunday, partly sunny. Tuesday, partly sunny with a high of 63. So the only bad day for the weekend looks like it'll be Saturday with scattered showers. Not a total washout for the weekend.
Okay, we're going to start thinking about the clock.
Yeah, set those clocks back on Sunday.
Okay,
okay, thank you.
We'll be right back.
In February 1984. Today, 3 years and 8 months later, everyone involved is ready to return to a normal lifestyle. One juror, Claire Gully, is planning that honeymoon she missed, while jury foreman Gary Krumer is more than ready to get back to his job.
When we first got out here and were selected for the jury, I said, hey, I get some time off, you know. But now I am ready to go back to work.
Juror Kathy Melton has some good memories.
Yeah, we all grew close, I guess. You have to. After that many years, it's just like a job. When you work at a job, you get close. You know, you learn to know each other.
For Judge Richard Goldenhirsch's family, today is a welcome relief.
We're planning a vacation on our own time. That will be lovely. That will be a pleasure. He has not had time off in a long time.
The jurors spent well over 600 days inside this courtroom in Belleville. Today, their efforts and commitment are winning praise.
I think that the highest praise should go out to them for their self-sacrifice in a trying situation.
Whatever the outcome of the appeals in this case, all of the participants can at least claim a spot in a footnote of American legal history. They were part of the nation's longest-running jury trial. Betsy Bruce, News 4 Nightside, Belleville, Illinois.
There is a record $5.1 million federal fine imposed on a contractor and causing it to fall like a house of cards. The government says it found, and I quote, a pattern of sloppy construction practices at that site.
25 East Siders suspected of welfare fraud in Illinois are expected to surrender to authorities on Monday.
It all takes time and energy.
Yeah, and convenience frequently is as important as quality to us. And tonight on Cover Story, Channel 5's Kathy Leonard continues her series, The Best of St. Louis. She takes a look at the best one-stop step-saving conveniences that this city has to offer.
He went home with a loving couple.
Good ending. Next on News 4 St. Louis, what does the weekend weather have in store?
Well, I don't have the answer, but Mike Nelson has that all-important answer when we come right back.
And drop things off. It's always ready when you come back.
Well, the prices are right and the cleaning is good. If something's wrong, I tell them about it and they always take care of it.
Taking care of your car is a priority with St. Louisans, and there's no surprise who cleans your car best. You say you do it best.
Best way to wash a car is by hand only. I like to use a lot of soap on my car. Keeps it shine, keeps it clean.
Keeping it clean in St. Louis is a full-time job, and many of you prefer washing your hands of it, letting one of the 9 waterway gas and wash facilities do it for you.
When it comes to reading, St. Louisans enjoy a wide variety of newspapers and magazines. Whether it's fashion news, business trends, or news from around the world, St. Louisans turn to World News in Clayton.
For 23 years, World News in Clayton has stocked its shelves with between 1,500 and 2,000 magazines from every corner of the world. Want an Italian magazine? Look no further. It's the best newsstand in town.
When I really want something, this is where I come to find it. If it's usual, unusual, whatever it is, if I really want it, this is where I come to get it.
And can you find it?
Always.
And you?
I like to walk 6 miles a day, and it has a large aerobics room and a lot of very nice people here. They have lots.
October savings are gone.
If you ever wondered why banks cater to giant corporations, this should answer your question. One bank, however, caters to people. People like us. It's a savings bank. Heartland Savings Bank. Why does Heartland do this? Why does Heartland offer the only totally free checking with no catches and a money market passbook that pays CD rates? It's very simple. Heartland realizes there are more of us than there are of them.
Mike Nelson's been put on full alert tonight.
Yes, sir.
That we might have to interrupt him during the weather with some good news.
Hopefully we will, and your tie will spin around, and Mike's will glisten, and fireworks will go off.
And all yours will do is be red. Right?
That's good enough.
Gosh, Larry, that's right. Got warmer today. Nice day out there. Let's take a look at the high temperature. First of all, 68 degrees. 42 is our low. I'd forecast warmer weather, but I guess not warm enough. The normal is 66 and 44. Tomorrow, still pretty warm here, but if you're heading up to Minneapolis to watch the Cardinals wrap it all up, Expect chilly weather in Minnesota this weekend. Readings just in the 40s. Will be mild down here. Our weekend temperatures expected to be more like the 60s. Right now we have a cold front, though, that's pushing down closer to the St. Louis area. The weather watchers reporting slightly cooler temperatures to the north of us. We have 60 degrees downtown. Officially in St. Louis, the current weather conditions, 60 degrees, 35% humidity, the barometer 30.10, and currently it's rising, and the winds are out of the southwest at 9 miles per hour. This morning's satellite picture at 5 a.m. caught a storm system moving across Minnesota. This storm dumped up to 10 inches of snow on Lutsen, Minnesota, which is up right on the shores of Lake Superior, and snows fell across much of north-central Minnesota into Wisconsin today, 2 to 4 inches of snow by and large. But for us, we are on the warm south side of that storm system. Partly cloudy skies throughout the day, mild temperatures. Right now, the storm itself is just across the Great Lakes area, currently located over lower Michigan. The cold front just pushing down towards St. Louis, but most of the really cold air is going to stay up over Wisconsin and the Great Lakes. Mild conditions close to the front and just behind it, so tomorrow should still be a fairly mild day. National radar picture indicating no precipitation for us. A little bit of snow lingering in the Great Lakes, but there is some rain down in Texas, some moisture down there that's going to start to move toward the north over the weekend, and by Saturday could bring us a chance of a little rain. So the forecast for tomorrow, that front will be close to us and will still be mild with partly cloudy skies, but by Saturday a weak ripple along that front will push toward the north, and that's going to bring us a chance of some showers, especially Saturday during the afternoon hours. So here's the 4-day forecast. Partly cloudy skies, 63 for a high tomorrow. Not a bad day at all. Saturday mild, but a chance of showers. Expect highs in the upper 50s. Partly cloudy Sunday with 60, and a little warmer Monday with 65. Tonight's forecast, partly cloudy.
Again, the Cards nubbed, blooped, and bounced their way into the lead tonight, and you gotta love it. Right now, in the bottom of the ninth inning, with 2 outs, the Cardinals now just 1 win away from the World Championship if they can go on to win it. Right now, it's 4-2. The Cardinals lead it. We'll have highlights of Game Patrick Division matchup. Let's go to the Cap Center. The Washington Capitals and the Boston Bruins, second period. Paul Cavallini slap shot, rebounds to Kelly Miller. In front, he will score on the rebound, and the Caps lead 2-1. Later, it's Dave Christian, one-on-one here. He'll use Brad Marsh as a screen. He beats Wendell Young. Caps go up 3-1. They go on to win it. Final was 4-1. Let's do the double tonight from Fairmount, number 7 and 1, worth $42.80. And it is Thursday night. That's the night we take our trip into the zone.
Beyond the dimensions of the playing field, there is another dimension. A dimension not just of hits and plays, but of the bizarre. At the next foul pole up ahead, you've just crossed over into the highlight zone.
We begin with the Cardinal fans' reaction to being down 2-0 to the Twins on Monday.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
That's right. So the Cards took it out on the Twins. Great defense by Tom Lawless. He took away a double. Then Ozzie Smith, the diving stop and the force out. And then Vince Coleman coming in and making the diving catch. All right, now to football. It's Rocky J. Squirrel at the 10, the 5, and a touchdown. Now here's Elvis Patterson going all the way for the touchdown, but he wants to run out the clock, so he sort of walks the tightrope here, doesn't want to cross the goal line. Kyle Mackey, the Dolphins, is so happy about a touchdown, can't find anybody to hug, hugs the referee. But as you'll see, athletes aren't the only ones who make bloopers. We'll be back tonight at 10 o'clock with a live report on Game 4 of the World Series. Hewell and Karen, Carol, back to you.
How quickly he forgets.
Actually, I wasn't talking to Karen Foss. It was her evil twin, Carol. Best moment in the series, though, Tom Lawless, making like Reggie Jackson, admiring his homer in Game 4. And finally, why will the Cards win? It's destiny, of course. And for Twins fans who don't think so...
Oh, yeah? For me and the Lord, we got an understanding. We're on a mission from God.
And you gotta love it. We've got a final now from Busch Stadium. The Cardinals win it. There it is, 4-2, as the fans start pouring out onto the streets outside of Busch Stadium. The Cardinals now lead the Twins 3-2 in the World Series. It's back to Minnesota for games 6 and 7. And guys, I like the pitching matchup in Game 6. John Tudor, the veteran left.
Kurt Ford, a 2-run single in the 6th inning, and then the go-ahead and what proved to be the winning run. An error by Minnesota.
Tudor against Straker. You like that better because Viola's going to go for the Twins in Game 7. The Cardinals could come back with Danny Cox, who pitched so well tonight. They'd have to do it on 2 days rest. But on the other hand, this is the last game of the year, so you got to go for it now. That's right.
All right. Great night tonight.
Now, what we're going to do, before we go away from this, as soon as ABC is off the air and as soon as Jay Randolph is set, we will go live to Jay Randolph. We'll have interviews outside the Cardinal locker room, and we'll have all the highlights for you.
Well, obviously, a lot of happy Cardinal fans outside Busch Stadium right now. Let's go live to Alec Sirkin, who's standing by now. Alec.
Well, Hugh, there are a lot out here with the Cardinals up 3-2. It's a wild scene in the streets of St. Louis. May get almost as wild as they did after the Cardinals won the playoff over San Francisco. Reporting live.
Someone else in town, right?
Yeah, he did. Irma Bombeck is coming to town, and speaking of town, let's look at how things are in this crazy town right now. A live picture outside Busch Stadium.
Folks coming out, and just as the games before, they have gathered downtown before this one was over. We'll be back in a moment with Herb on the Move Nightside. It doesn't seem that exciting in here.
We're going to send a crane to sort of pluck him out of that crowd
poor
there.
guy.
Speaking of crowds, let's take a look at more of the dancing in the streets here in St. Louis. The celebration already begun. You would think this is the end of the World Series right now. We do have some serious play to go.
The point is, of course, we will not see the team in town for the rest of this season, so to celebrate is here now tonight. And I tell you, now last night they had a really good time. A few celebrants got a little wild, some vandalism cars. Hopefully none of that tonight.
Well,
nice, peacefully large crowd.
Well, there's a nice, large limo there. I hope it makes it out of that crowd tonight because there are people who like to walk on cars.
Is that Dan Dierdorf in that limousine? Do I see Dan?
Could be.
You think Dan did? No, I can see the way it's not sitting off to one side. I don't think so.
Well, congratulations to the Cardinals. And you gotta give it all to Whitey, who just was a master of tactics here. And the computer brain in the White Rat was really working overtime.
Well, speaking of that, we've kept this shirt available just for this. We still have this here. The Rat does it again, and we still have 2 more games, and we'll take one of those easily.
There we are over here. The Rat does it again. Let's hear it for Whitey and his Red Sox. They have made a clean sweep here in St. Louis, and they're headed up north, where it's going to be colder. They're going to get a chilly reception, and the weather's going to be a lot colder, but there'll be a hot time in this town tonight.
All right. Thank you very much for being with us at this late hour. 15 minutes after the hour of 11, but you still have a late date with Carol.